Hi guys, and welcome to Get Into It, where we do just that. I'm Ambry.
And I'm Jordan Rice, and welcome back.
Welcome
We had a
back.
few weeks off because a lot has happened.
Right,
Ambry moved.
I
She's
did.
gone away from me. I started making videos on TikTok, like interestingly enough. And oh yeah, go
She's getting
follow Get
famous,
In.
y'all.
Okay, all right.
She's getting
All
famous,
right.
y'all. She's an influencer. That's crazy. I love it. That's the
anyways,
side.
anyways, no, we did an aside. But yeah, also if you want to follow Get Into It's TikTok, it's at Get Into It _podcast. Get that plug in early.
Right.
So we've been kind of busy creating things and like adjusting with life and stuff like that. So we hope everyone is well, and we're so glad to be back. Today we are going to kick off this episode talking about things we hate within the natural hair community. So
Right.
I know that I've always had my hair natural. I've never had a perm. We've discussed this before in other episodes. So, but I never really started taking really like attention to the natural hair community or like learning how to actually care for my hair until maybe I was about in middle school, which is when I started going on the YouTube and watching all those things and the blogs and all that stuff, which is when I really was first introduced to the natural hair community. And baby, well, there's some things that I love and there's some things that I really don't love. So, Ambry,
Right.
what do you think?
So to start off the hate train.
Oh God, that's
Oh wait,
horrible.
let's put an emphasis on the fact that we're talking about the community. Like we're not talking about our natural hair or natural hair in general, because we're not doing that. That's hate erasing. Nobody's doing that.
No.
We're talking about the community. So let me look on my phone. Let me look at my receipts. Okay, wait. Okay, so my first one is natural hair pages can be just as toxic as like drama pages like the Shade Room. Look, if you're unfamiliar with the Shade Room is
Who is unfamiliar with the Shade
some
Room?
people don't know what it is. It's basically like it's kind of like Black entertainment, news. It's on primarily on Instagram. I think they're on Twitter as well, and y'all, they're just very messy. They're very messy, and it's like ridiculous. It's like messy in a way that's like you're too grown for this. So it's like you'll see like transphobic comments, you'll see homophobic comments, and it's not even just
anti-Black comments.
Anti-Black, and it's run by Black people, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like it's not cute. But when in terms of like the natural hair pages, how that like parallels, if you look at the comments on like certain, some people will repost a beauty guru or somebody who's doing their hair and like, oh, do you like this? Do you not? The comments horrible, especially if it's not like a loose curl girly. They eat them up if it's a tight curl girly. Always. They say like the most mean, the most wretched of things just because they can. And it's just like,
it's very telling.
It's very telling, and it's supposed to be a place where people feel accepted with all natural hair textures. And it's like, how are you promoting texturism in a place where you're literally supposed to be accepting all hair types? Like this is supposed to be I love natural hair page, right? Like, what are you doing? What are we doing?
So I'm just going to go ahead and say the thing that I hate, which is hidden texturism. That is literally the first point I had. And by hidden, I mean like, you really, well, I guess you may see it, but I haven't really seen people be like, we hate 4C hair. I only love type 3 curls and like loose curls and nice coils. But it's very embedded and it's like really slick. Like the things they say or the type of hair styles or things that we promote or the hair influencers that we promote
right
as a collective sometimes it's giving texturism. And I said it seems like the only quote unquote good hair is if you have loose curls down your back, and if you have 4C hair, it has to be thick and full and like long and like all this other stuff. Like there's so many caveats to people seeing type 4 specifically for being 4C hair as beautiful that I feel like don't really happen with people with looser curls. Coming from someone who has looser curls. Like
agreed.
Yeah.
It's like they're not pointing at somebody with tighter curls and being like, ah, ugly. It's more like they
Sometimes they
reference,
do.
some people,
Sometimes.
but like usually they usually use the term like good hair
Yeah.
and
Oh, you
only
got
use
that
it.
good
You
hair.
got that good hair,
Which
or they're
is
like,
rooted
are
in
you
white
mixed?
supremacy. That's the thing. The all
Like,
of my,
hello?
not all of them. Actually, maybe you can argue all of them. The things that I really just dislike about the natural hair community seems like it's rooted in white supremacy, and it's just like internalized anti-blackness for me, like the things that I have a problem with the natural hair community with, because why the only reason for someone to value looser curls is because it's closer to the standard, which I'm doing
Mm,
quotes, which is Eurocentric beauty standards, straight hair, and the wavy hair, and they're like, oh, you have that. It's like a fetishization, and
yeah, it's weird.
it's
And then like
you
if
know
you try to, it's like it also leads to like an ancestry conversation. Like I'm just black. Like if you perceive my curls as looser, please do not try to insert European in my bloodline.
I
Don't
have
do it.
literally had people like this one girl in person was like, what are you mixed with? And I was like, oh, nothing. I'm like black. Like, get on my parents are black. My grandparents are all black. Like, I'm black. And she said, no, you're mixed with something. And I was like, well, I mean, we were descendants of slaves in America. So I don't doubt, that.
Right. It's
But like, what do you mean?
probable.
And she was
Right.
like, no, but you're definitely mixed with something. Like, look at your hair. Like, you're definitely mixed with something. Like, you look like you got like some like I don't know if it's like Indian or like some. And she started trying to like
Yikes.
list out the different countries that I am mixed with and tell
Yikes.
me that I'm wrong. I was like so I was so confused. I was like, why is it so important for you?
Right.
Like it was getting very much weird. I didn't enjoy it. I
Right.
didn't enjoy it.
Right. Okay, let me go to my next hater thingy. Let's see. Oh, people don't love tight curls unless they are styled to not look tight. Um,
That's
I'm
tea.
I can leave my drop. My
Beep.
drop. I can leave it at that. Because
I
like
should insert a
honest,
mic drop sound, right? Boom, boom, boom.
I mean, nobody hypes up afros when they're like completely picked out. Like, there's not a single definition in that curl. It's just, full on gorgeousness. Because people have such problem with letting go of their obsession with like definition and curls. Like if your hair is like a tighter coil, you're not gonna get like looser curls. You're just not.
Yeah.
And that's just the fact of the matter. Now you could do things in terms of styling to
To
get it to look
manipulate
that
it.
way.
Yeah.
Right. And you'll find when you do that, because I have tight curls. I do. So I find when I am styling my hair to look like looser curls, I
Mhm.
get way more compliments than I do when my hair
Wow.
is like, yeah, like wet, like when it's completely in its tight coils. Or just like not styled in looser curls. I always get more compliments when it's on a looser curl. But it's like though they might know my natural hair state, they still are just enabled by texturism to like
No, yeah.
to do that. It's just
Yeah.
sucks. Sucks.
It's interesting because I think like obviously I haven't had that to the extent that you have. Um, for people listening, because my hair is looser curled than Amber's. But when I've only done a few wash and go, this is the second wash and go I've ever done because I tried that 3-step method in my life. Like it's the only, and the first time I did it, or the time that I did it where like you could see like my curls don't coil, they're more, well, some of them do, but it's more like S and like waves and stuff like that. It's very interesting. Um, mm. People were like, "Oh my god, your hair is so pretty," and da 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 da. Oh my gosh, you look really good. Like you look really good. And I was like, I look the same as yesterday. No, 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 but you look really good today. And I was like, because my hair makes me look quote unquote ethnically ambiguous today. Like, what
Mm,
what is the reason? It was really annoying.
yeah. I just feel so bad because it's like I'm trying to stray from calling my hair 4C because from what I've learned, the person who created that system also had a bias, like
Yeah.
was being extremely texturist. And like the sad part is like we really don't have another system to categorize hair. Um, so I'm trying to stray from that. But like for the girls who have super tight coils, I just I wish that we could just like adore afros at its like most natural state at all
Oh,
times.
yes. Even if it's a teeny weeny afro, because the disrespect that people put on like people who just did a big chop or their hair is like short
Right.
and they have the
Shorter.
tois, people like drag the tois and like all this stuff. And
Drag.
I'm like, for what reason? For what reason? Make it make sense. Oh my gosh. So my next thing, I hate, I hate it when there is this expectation that your edges must be laid at all times.
Ooh, hate
What?
that.
I like I have a Beyonce quote for y'all. Beyonce said, bleep these laid edges. I'ma let it shrivel up. Bleep this fade in waves. I'ma let it dread all up. If Beyonce could not
Lord.
convince y'all, you need to get off Beyonce's internet. What are y'all doing? It's so okay. First of all, if you do your like lay your edges every single day, that's not good for your edges. That's going to thin them out. It shouldn't have a brush and like it's just too much traction and all that other stuff.
Honestly, I applaud y'all because
It's
that's a lot.
cute. It's cute,
It's
but
cute,
like
but it's
don't
a
come for
lot.
me. Don't come for me because I don't do my edges like that unless like I'm like going to like an event where they're going to be like where there's like I act you guys. So
Right.
like a red carpet thing or like a premiere, then I'll do that. But like in my everyday life, I'm not laying my edges for anyone. No shade to anyone who lays their edges. I'm really a fan. I love the art. But like
I really am a fan.
I love it, but the expectation that your hair is not
Yeah.
presentable or it's unkept or it's not done if you don't have your edges laid is very, very anti-black. It is very anti-black because it perpetuates that whole idea that the way that my hair naturally comes out is not good enough to be
Right.
seen by society. And
Right.
it's not beautiful and it's ugly. And I'm really sick of it. I'm so
Yeah.
sick of it.
I don't like being expected to do that. I'm okay if it's like people are showing up look, people some people do like beautiful designs on their edges. Like
No,
it's
and it's not about
gorge.
I don't have a problem with people doing their
Yeah,
edges.
me
I have a
neither.
problem
Yeah,
with
it's about the expectation.
it's
I hear
about
you.
the expectation or the shaming for those who don't do their
Mm,
edges. And it honestly it never really comes from or I haven't had it come from people who do their edges. It's normally people it's normally black men. It's normally black men who were like, "So your hair's not done today." And I'm like, "Did I talk about your lineup? No, I didn't. Like please, like come on. Come on."
did I go there?
Did
Because
I
I
go there?
could.
Because I could. Because I still look presentable. You need to be in a barbershop, please. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. I hate how the natural hair community is starting to put mixed people on the forefront of like the black natural hair movement. Now, I'm not
Long
saying
pause she took. She said, I.
I did a long pause and a lean in. I'm not saying that you as a mixed person doesn't have you as mixed with black as in like your parent is black, like you have no right to partake in the natural hair community. You for sure can. You for sure can. But what we're noticing is accumulation of colorism, texturism, all coming to the forefront of social media so, to essentially erase what like is considered the most black of aesthetics
Mm,
in favor of those who don't have those aesthetics, if that makes sense. So it's like, of course, the tightest curls are associated with black women or black people, I should say. And honestly, we're not really seeing them as much on like natural hair loving pages. We're not really seeing them being admired in the media as much as we're seeing the looser texture people who happen to be like are more likely to be mixed um in media and stuff
I
like
get what you're
that.
saying. Yeah. Because, like, I was shocked to find out that, like, not shocked, but like when you put it in this perspective, most Black people, like across the diaspora, have what we would consider, for lack of better terms, 4C hair. They have that type of hair. And when I heard that, like, it was like a study and like it was like experts, not like I'm not making that up, experts. And I was like, that's insane, because all of the things that I see on social media for like hair
Right.
tutorials are people who have like something my hair, you know, curl pattern or like looser. And it's really leaning towards that looser. So I just thought that was so interesting, because if the majority of Black people in the world have one type of hair texture, but social media is saturated with people of looser hair textures, it gives the misconception that most Black people have that type of hair texture. And then also when I
Right.
was younger, I was really sad because I was like, well, I can't do that with my hair. Like all the, a lot of, not all, but a lot of people on YouTube, I was like, well, I can't do that style on my hair. My hair doesn't work like that. And I'd get like frustrated and stuff like that. And I have loose curls a little bit. So I can only imagine how horrible it is and hard and difficult it is to find influencers who do hairstyles that you could do for yourself if you have really tight coils. If you want to see she calls her hair 4C, so I'll call it that too. 4C natural hair person on YouTube. Look up Star Puppy. Her name is Danielle. I love her videos. Even though like the things that she does to her hair are not applicable to me, but she's like really positive for 4C hair, and she's super real. So if you're looking for
Yeah.
someone with type 4 hair, 4C hair, check her out on
That's
YouTube.
also another layer to it. It's like the people who are influencers who have that type of hair type, sometimes they come at it at a negative angle, but it's very overt. Like, for
Yeah.
example, if they're trying out let's say a new hair dryer, right?
Hmm.
They'll be like, "Oh, does this work on my 4C hair, my coarse hair?" Like that'll be the title. And it's like it's not impossible to work with. I really
Yeah.
want I want my people to be free from the shackles of thinking that it is impossible to work with. It's not.
Yeah.
It can
Yeah.
be difficult. The only reason why it's considered difficult is because we don't really have products that are designed for us specifically. That's why. Um,
And
and
there's
it's
not a
like
lot of education.
there's not a lot of education around it. Honestly, like a lot of people are learning from these gurus, and like when they come at it at such a negative angle, or like this is I have the most difficult type of hair type, what can I do to
Yeah.
tame it, like it's some of them it's not intentional, but when you see words like tame or get under control or like I don't know, any other negative
Yeah.
connotation type of thing, it messes with you because you're thinking like, oh, my hair is something to be controlled, like it's not something in its natural state beautiful enough to exist in this world. It has to be put under some type of restriction or some type of like style so people
Yeah.
can see it as beautiful. And I'm not fully sure that it's an intentional thing, but it's something that when I was like learning how to do my natural hair, I noticed a lot and was definitely not a positive influence on my
No, yeah.
relationship with my hair. So it's like, this is not to say my hatred is like makes people being in the natural hair community in general. No, I'm saying that like we need to share the space. Like everybody needs to be welcomed into the space equally with the same energy that you give to
And
people
representation and
and
visibility.
representation and the same
Yeah.
verbiage. Like it's all very important for us to be in the same arena, treated fairly. We can't discriminate amongst ourselves. We've had enough of that. Like we can't do that. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not trying to be anti-mixed. Just saying. Let's share
The
this.
pauses.
I'm just trying to share the space
Yeah.
equally. Right.
So, one of the last things that I have for y'all about the things that I hate, would be how expensive natural hair products are.
Right.
Why do I have to take out a loan for one wash day? Make it
Right.
make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And Jennifer Rose NYC brought this like more to my attention.
Mm,
She was like, she's a curl specialist. And she was talking about it. She's like, all of these products are very expensive. And she was like, she said that we a lot of times buy product based off of skin and not our hair.
mm,
Like just like we'll be like, oh, well, I'm gonna get these products because these are products for Black people.
yeah,
Instead of just
marketed. Yeah.
instead of just when products that are like what we consider for white people, quote unquote, could work for our hair too. And those are like $10 cheaper. So like I also just hate that whole like when you're starting your natural hair journey, you have to be prepared like economically and spiritually and mentally. And I'm like, yes, but like, why do I have to go into
Right, it
debt
doesn't make
finding
sense.
products that work for my hair and experiment? Like these products that we're experimenting with, quote unquote, to like figure out what works for our hair. That's like $20, $25, $15. That's very expensive for a product that might not even work.
Hmm.
And then like you gonna use the rest of it, hopefully, and your hair's
Hmm.
not benefiting from that product that doesn't work for you, but because you spent 15
Right.
to $25 on it, you want to use it all up. I really, really hate that. And I love supporting Black owned businesses. And I'm so willing to pay extra dollars to Black owned businesses. But baby, I am not trying to spend $30 on a conditioner, period. That is insane to me. That is insane to me. On a shampoo, conditioner, deep conditioner, if you do that, styler, gel, if that's different than your styler, a leave-in, oils. It's a lot.
It's a
It's a lot.
lot.
It's a lot of money.
Like
It's
I if you remember, there was like one time where there's like that post is like, oh, naturals, if you go natural, you're broke or something like that. It was just stupid. And everyone
Are
was
they
like,
wrong?
Miss Ma'am.
Are they wrong? I mean, like, come on. It's like a pink tax, which is a tax on like things that like
Anything
how
that's marketed for women,
for
like
women
very
or people
feminine,
that
right?
yeah. It's like a pink tax for people that have natural hair that deal with that. It's like, why do I have to pay extra because of the way that my hair naturally grows out of my head? Like it's
For the post itself was like it was framed to like for you to assume that to be a natural hair person, you have to like
lose all your
it's
money on
like
products.
no, it was framed in a way like you're broke. Like no, that's like the last thing you're supposed to
You're
do. Like
broke.
it's interesting that you interpret it that way, but it was like the way that
I've never
it was
seen
like,
it.
oh, but it was like it was in circulation in like 2017. Like it was just stupid because everybody in the natural hair community was like, nope, let me tell you how much I spent in a given month or in a given
Oh,
whatever.
they were saying like it's like you're like cheap and
Like
you're
you're broke.
poor.
Yeah, because that's the
Oh,
last option. Like no
well,
one would
that's
ever
very
choose that.
classist.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It was the whole thing. But it's funny because it's like the complete and utter
it's the complete
opposite.
opposite. People like spending hundreds of dollars on their hair care. And I'm like, listen, if you're a product junkie, which I low key am, I understand. I get you. I'm just saying, think about your money. Think about your pockets. Think about how much money it costs at the end. It's 52 weeks in a year. I wash my hair once a week. That's using product once a week. And if all the product costs $25 plus, let's imagine how much that is after 52 weeks of doing that.
No, like even like if we're just talking about doing your natural hair and then you like do a twist out, blush and go,
Like
whatever.
a twist up,
There's
like,
a
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right, there's a
yeah.
whole other layer. There's protective styles, people buying wigs. That takes so so much money.
And then like we
It's
also do our hair ourselves. Like we don't go to salons to get it done. So if you're going
yeah,
to a salon to get your hair done as
that's a
well,
whole thing. Like if you have locks, like maintenance with that, like it's
it's
just there's a
insane.
lot that goes into natural hair
Make
that
it
is like
more cost effective. That's all I have to say about that.
it's
Make it
horrible.
more cost effective.
Agree. Should I do my last one or should we wrap
Sure.
it
We
up?
can end
Okay.
with you.
Okay. So my last thing that I hate,
That I hate.
I I hate the like indecisiveness of like the methods that we should use. I hate it. I hate it so much because it seems like
Week.
every
There's a different method every
there's just
week.
there's something else happening and it's just it's so exhausting because a lot of them require like you have to buy a
Buy a
product
new
without this
product.
or
Spend
with
your
this,
money.
right? Spend your money, do something. And it's like,
I'm
oh
so
my
over it.
gosh, can we just collectively agree on whatever is the simplest thing for me to do? Because recently there's been a new method, and you referenced one of the ladies that has been spearheading it. But the 3-step method, which is essentially just like shampooing your hair for a little bit,
Condition your
conditioning your
hair.
hair, and then putting either a mousse or a gel on it and
And calling
it
it a day. And we both tried it. We both
both
tried
tried it.
that. I'm not a wash and go.
We went
Um,
Um,
I'm not a wash and go girly, but I tried it for this method just because when I was styling, like when I was like washing my hair, I was like, I'm seeing my curls be defined during shampooing and conditioning in a way I've never seen that before. So I just wanted to try it out. And I think it turned out well. I just personally, I'm a twist out gal. I love my twist outs.
right.
So I'm probably going to try that next time, but it was only 3 products. I did go buy a shampoo and conditioner because the whole thing is like not using oils and butters and creams and your
Right. We forgot
things.
to say that.
And all
That's like the
my
whole point.
yeah, that's the whole point. And all my stuff products had oils, butters, and creams. So I had to get 2 different things. And like my hair is clean, my scalp's not itching, like my hair is moisturized and it works well. So that's 3 products, and I'm okay with using it because I'm not even using a lot of those products. So I'm gonna keep doing it. What about you?
Right. I'm gonna keep doing it. I watched a few of at Jennifer Rose NYC. She's on Instagram, by the way. You can watch her Instagram reels to like see how she does her methods. She's not the only one that's doing it, but she's one of the people that like a lot of people are referencing in terms of how to do the methods. Um, I enjoyed it. I
And
enjoyed it.
you proclaim yourself as a lazy natural.
I am very much lazy natural. I take that proudly. I do not care. I don't like doing a lot. So if I
Yeah.
can find a method that is simplified to the best of its ability and still works and still efficient, I'm doing it. So I liked it. I have to do it again because right now I have like if you're watching this, like you see me, I see you. I have my hair. This is my hair twisted after like being blown out because I had to trim it. But like when it was completely like the method following it to a T, it was cute. It was really
She didn't even
cute.
take no pictures, couldn't even
I
see
didn't
it.
take any pictures. I really should have. I don't know why I didn't. But yeah, I really liked it. I'm still gonna keep doing it. I'm a twist out gal, like Miss Jordan here. So I don't think the wash and go thing or aspect of it is gonna be my gig. But I like twist out, so that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, the indecisiveness really just hurts my heart because it's like
Yeah.
the YouTubers will be like, "Oh my gosh, you gotta try out this new thing, this new fad, this lock method, the
The LCO
LCO
method,
method.
the lock method,
Like, what
get
is this
Chebe
porosity?
powder.
Like, oh my
Well,
gosh, like
porosity, that actually helped me learn some stuff to do with my hair. So I think that's important. But like the things when they were like, everyone needs to get Jamaican black castor oil, which I love Jamaican black castor oil. I do. Um, then it was like everyone needs to get Chebe powder. Okay. Everyone needs to do rice
so
water.
much. It's so
Everyone. And
right.
it's like
Rice
too
water, that was a
much. It's too
thing.
much. Like do what works for you, but it just seemed like
I see people
like
put like bananas. Like, it's just so much. Yes,
yes,
but
people
you're
were doing
right. Like,
eggs and mayonnaise in their hair and
right.
stuff. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm
You
not gonna
lost
do that.
me.
You
You
lost
lost me.
me. But it seems like we're having like an identity crisis every few
Yeah,
months. Yeah.
because who's doing honestly, who's
Who
doing
is
the research
deciding
on our
this?
hair? Right. It's just people. I don't know. Actually, like who's
Who's
moving the
deciding
needle?
it?
That's actually a good question. Cause like who decided to one day looking at mayo and was like, yeah, that's it.
This needs to be my hair.
That's what's gonna do it.
Get
Cause
it in
I
my
saw
hair
that
right
one
now.
ingredient. Yeah, I saw that one ingredient and that was
It's
sold.
a
Who's
protein
doing this?
treatment. It's a protein treatment.
Who's
Okay.
doing this? Cause like a dermatologist, like who honestly, I would love to see some black
Dermatologists, they
dermatologists.
just be looking at us like, okay. All right.
Right, right. Okay, all right. Okay. But they're silent,
Yeah.
which is really messing me up because I'm like, if you're a black dermatologist, please, please, for the love of God, please get a platform.
Guide
Please
your
go on,
people.
guide your people. It's getting really scary out here. It really is. It's been scary for a while, but like, I'm just confused why nobody's like actually taking hold of us. Like, but like, no, ma'am, you probably should have
Give
put
it a good shake.
mayonnaise. Should have put mayonnaise in your hair. Like, I don't know where that came from. It's just ridiculous. Or chemist or anybody who just like that could potentially do
Help us
research on
out.
African American hair or just black hair in general.
Yeah.
Please, please.
That's why I will say this, like kind of like wrapping it up. There at the beginning of the natural hair movement, there was not a lot of education. It was just regular schmegula degula people like you and me trying to figure out how to
They
make their
tried their
hair
best.
healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
And we, thank you to them trailblazers. Someone that I
Right.
watched was like Chime
Worked for them, I
Edwards.
guess. Right.
Yeah, and it was really good. And I loved their content, and there's nothing wrong with their content. It's just a lot of people have what is the word? Is divested the right word? They've left.
I think
they've
so.
they've separated, let's say separated. They've separated themselves from the natural hair movement because of these things and more things. And I think it's a really good conversation because everyone's just trying to love their hair. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to
Right.
love our hair and make it the healthiest it can be. So let's make it a better place. Let's get rid of the things that don't make sense. Let's make it more cost
Inclusive.
effective. Let's make it more
Right.
inclusive. Let's make it
Inclusive of
more a
everybody.
safe space. Yeah. And just remember, you guys, like, it's your
Right.
hair. Let's not be at each other's throats. Like,
Right. Do honestly, at the end of the day, do what works for you. As long as it
don't
doesn't
get
hurt
into an
you,
argument on in a comment section because it's like,
it's
girl,
not that deep.
it's not.
Just be respectful and do what works for you. That's the moral of the story.
Be respectful, keep it pushing. Love that. Well, thank y'all for listening to me and Ambry just talk about the things that we hate within the natural hair community. Not to be confused, we do love our natural hair, and it
We
is
do.
a long journey, never-ending journey, honestly, of self-love with your hair. So thank you for listening. If you want to keep up with us on our social media, you can check out our TikTok and our Instagram. They are all the same name, at Get Into It _podcast. The link will be in the description if you're watching this video, but if you're listening, it will also be in the description of the episode. If you want to follow me on TikTok, follow at Jordan.R. Okay, at Jordan.RIC. Ambry, do you want to plug your social media since I'm over here plugging mine?
No, I'm never on her. So
Fair. So thanks for listening, and we'll see y'all next week.
bye.
Bye.